Thank you so much for your time today and coming on the show. I know you're a busy, busy lady with everything that you do.
Thank you. Yo, thank you for having me. Thanks for taking the time.
Well, listen, I mean, something like this, like Yellow Rose, deserves time because not only is it one of the best films of the year, but it's also one of those movies that I think people are going to see more than once. Performance is absolutely spotless in it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You do a lot. I mean, you're on Broadway, you're in films. Do you have a preference? Do you like the live audience over a film role?
I have a complicated answer. I like live audience if it's not a musical. I have a lot more joy doing my own show in front of a live audience than I do doing a musical because you don't really you have to do the kind of the same you have to hit the same mark every night, which is sometimes hard to do when you do 8 shows a week for more than a year.
It's that complicated. It has to be the same show every night.
Absolutely. You don't you're because as I'm only the actor, I'm a small cog in a big show, so if I don't hit the same mark every night, quite literally on stage and with the notes I sing and the story I'm telling, and it's a lot. It makes me happy. It's a spiritual experience, but at the same time, being able to sing my own songs and write my own show and perform that with all of the control that I have, it's to me a little bit more artistically exciting.
And in talking with people over the years, like Barry Manilow, and it's also a very personal experience because you're revealing yourself to an audience rather than.
Yeah, yeah, you're not in character. I mean, some people are when they're doing their own shows, but that's kind of what I love doing about my shows. That I'm not in character. I'm just being totally myself when I do my own show. But I miss my Haiti Sound family. I just don't miss doing 8 shows a week. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
a matinee, of course.
And yeah, exactly.
When did you discover that you had this wonderful voice and you had an affinity toward acting?
I think at a young age, my mom always said I was making noise constantly. I must have annoyed the crap out of her, but she loves me. Um, yeah, I don't really know. I didn't know what that meant until I saw Phantom of the Opera, the movie. Um, I know, so modern and silly, but I remember watching that and being like, I want to be an opera singer, and then I want to be an actress, and then I want to be a Broadway star, and it was just a really cute, like chronological order of dreams that I had, but they all involved at the stage, so that was really special.
Is it hard? I mean, obviously it is, but from a girl who grew up in San Diego to make it to Broadway.
Yeah, I grew up in San Diego, moved to North Carolina, to Charlotte when I was like 6 or 7. But I wouldn't say it's hard. I just grateful that I had the opportunities I did, and I'm grateful that I ran with them. My parents taught me, instilled in me a very strong work ethic, extremely strong work ethic. So I'm grateful that they did that because then if opportunities came to my door and I wasn't ready, they would have been missed. So, and that didn't happen, thankfully.
But it is a lot of hard work combined with a little bit of luck.
Oh God, of course it is. You're constantly working, and if you're not constantly working, you're constantly working to get work. So it's like there's no break unless you truly want to break. And that means like right now we're all unemployed and we're still working, and a lot of people want us to work for free, and I will say this, life is work.
Yeah, it is. It's all about choices, and you may not get paid a paycheck, but you do things for other reasons, for other joys
Yeah, absolutely.
that are out there. And the making of Yellow Rose, how did you get the script, and what was your process in accepting the role?
Diane came and saw Saigon, the revival here in New York City, and she reached out to management about her potential film, which was exciting. And then we met for the first time having sushi, as I say all Asians do when they're having a professional business meeting. We all have sushi. And she handed me the script and sent me the script and essentially said, like, you're Rose. And I was like, okay, let's do it.
Wow, what an audition.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
eating sushi in front of somebody.
Eating sushi, but I know, I think she thought she saw me in Saigon and just, I don't know what was going through her head. I'm just grateful she gave me the opportunity. For sure.
And is there a difference in your using your vocal pipes to approach country music as it is, to approach a musical theater
Um,
piece?
I think singers all know that the voice is very complex. We can do so many things with our voices as long as we're maintaining the health of our cords and the health of our body. And just also remembering that we can do so many things. We don't have to be pigeonholed into one type of style of singing. So for me, that was like the easiest thing is like singing. Singing is like second nature to me. So that was no trouble at all. I think the hardest thing for me was actually doing a slight Texan accent. That was like the hardest thing for me to do.
You do have one of the most beautiful voices around,
Thank you.
and it's quite engrossing in the movie Yellow Rose. But there is a range there too that it seemed to me like you have maybe a 5 octave range. Is that
Oh, I have no
close?
idea. I am the least musical person you'll ever meet. I have no idea. I have no idea. Mm,
Wow.
yeah,
And here
almost.
you are doing Miss Saigon, the revival. What do you have a favorite musical that you've done?
Um, Les Mis. Les Mis is my favorite for sure. I just think it's so epic and grand, and I did one of the last original directed productions of that before they did the contemporary version, whatever that means. But
Yeah, well,
I was just grateful to have been in it in that role, the iconic role, and that iconic hat and that iconic coat. Just pinching myself that I was able to do that.
I think after this movie, I think you'll be able to get into Oklahoma without a problem.
I don't think I want to. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. I am not at all eager to go back into Broadway anytime soon. Just because, like, I've done so much already. I haven't. This is my first break in 7 years doing
Wow.
musicals. So, and I mean, literally, unemployment is my first break in 7 years. So, I would like to do other things. I would like to spread my wings in other parts of the subcategories of performance. So, I'd like to take a break from Broadway just for a little while.
And you should. I mean, you should do whatever you need to do to rest. Um, this is the weirdest conversation I think I'm going to have all day because we're bouncing back and forth, but I love it. You have an incredible cast in Yellow Rose. I mean, it is
Yeah.
just pitch perfect cast. I mean, I don't think I could think of anybody else to play these roles.
I agree with you. We really as a company like pulled it together and birthed a movie in 18 days. And it wouldn't have been this wonderful, like you said, without the exceptional cast and the exceptional direction and cinematography and everybody. There wasn't a single person behind the camera, in front of the camera, that didn't belong there. It was amazing.
And you buoy each other's performances. A good cast will do that.
Totally. I completely agree. It was just well rounded. Um, Everyone just gave exquisite work and we all had fun, which was the most important thing. We all found joy in it.
I think as a film critic and a movie buff, one of my biggest regrets is that this age we live in with the pandemic and everything. I think this needs to be seen in the theater, and that it is opening in theaters. But I
Yeah.
mean, this is one of those movies that I think you'll have Oscar consideration. I think the script is dynamite. I think the score is amazing, the music is amazing, and the performances are amazing. And it needs to be seen by as big an audience as possible.
I agree. Diane even said in one of her interviews that I had with her last week that she directed the film and wrote the film for it to be shown in theaters. Like she spent hours in the studio with the sound engineers making sure that it just all the components of it were meant to be seen in a cinema.
How about hopping behind the camera or directing a musical at one point?
I'd love to. I think I'd rather direct a film than a musical. I honestly, I guess somewhat direct and write the kind of show that I like doing at my cabaret here. I do here in New York. Um, I don't know. I can't think of a musical that would excite me enough to direct it or even to be in. Hades Town for me is like exceptional work, and I that's the only show I'll go back to do if they'll have me come back. Other than that, there's just like I don't have anything that I feel like Broadway and I need to part ways for a while.
Eva, I'll tell you what. Thank you so much for your time today. You are a delight and an incredible star, and you graced us today with your presence. So I appreciate that.
I really appreciate you as well. Thank you for your kindness and thanks for taking the time.
Come out to Salt Lake and we'll try the sushi here
Oh,
together.
yeah, I'd love to. That sounds like so much fun.
All right, you take care. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
This celebrity interview is sponsored by.
I'm Annette Civarella with Pia Anderson Moss Hoyt, Utah's leading entertainment law firm, serving clients nationwide. We provide solid, attentive representation focusing on minimizing risk, reducing cost, and protecting the reputation and privacy of our clients. Our goal is to provide you with the legal representation you need to make the right decisions and to protect you and your creative works. Call or email me for a free consultation.